I'm live in the correct place, and that everything's okay. See, there is blue sky outside, but it really isn't light enough for to do a video without having the lights on, I'm afraid. So there is some shadow. Not a lot I can do about that, so you'll just have to bear with me, and hopefully it won't interfere too much. Okay, so if you are joining me this afternoon, it'd be lovely to be able to say hello. If you pop any comments in comment field, let me know you're here, and I'm gonna get on with some crafting now. I have finished my Christmas cards finally. Some of the ones that I've done recently I can't put on Facebook or anything yet because they're for people that would be able to see them, and it would spoil the surprise. So I will post them at some point, but this is going to be a birthday card, and it's an explosion birthday card. So I've got a standard card base in Berry Burst. Okay, so it is 8 inches scored at 4 by 5.5 inches, and it will open this way. Okay, so pop that out the way. I've then got a mat that is in fresh freesia, and that is 3 3/4 inch by 5.5. I also have another mat, and this is the fresh freesia beautiful bokeh designer series paper. So the one side has got like bubbles, or and the other side is more mottledy. There's lots of different colours. It's, what is there, balmy blue, berry burst, calypso coral, daffodil delight, and fresh freesia. So we have a mat, and I'm going to be using the mottledy side rather than the bubbly side. And then I've got another piece of this which measures 5.5 inches, so it's been cut down from the 6 inches. And I'm going to start with this because this is the main part of the explosion card. So first of all, we're going to pop the corners into the little line on the trimmer, and we're just going to score diagonally in half, and then we want to score at 2.5 inches. No, that's wrong, sorry, I've got 5 in my head and it's not. Bear with me. Right, we'll get another piece, cut it down to 5.5. The reason I'm doing it at 5.5 is because if you use it at 6 inches, you need to make your card base bigger. You'd need to have it at 8.5 inches, so you'd score it at 4 1/4 inches, and that you can't then get out, or can't get 2 card bases out of an A4 sheet. Okay, so half of 5.5 is 2 3/4. So we're going to score it straight down there, turn it around, and again score at 2 3/4. Now I can get rid of that. And the next thing we need to do is just burnish these score lines. Give them a nice crisp edge. I'm going to do it both ways, just so that it makes it easier for folding. Okay, so now what we need to do with the whole folding part is we're going to put our finger, our pointy finger, in this crease, and our finger and our thumb, and we're just going to push it in together and fold it down. And then if you give it another good burnish, it will stay. So that is the explosion part of the card. Got a bit of glue on there. So. Okay, so the next bit, I just need to get a stamping mat. Okay, we're going to do some stamping next. So I'm going to stamp on the front first, and I'm using the Layered Forts stamp set. This Happy Birthday, it's a nice big stamp, and I want to stamp on there in Berry Burst. Okay, so I'll try and line it up as best I can. Okay, pop that out of the way so we don't get any more ink everywhere. So that's the first bit. Then I'm going to also use this spring corners, and I'm going to use the balloons and my Memento ink, and I'm using the Memento ink because I'm going to use the blends to, hopefully, as long as the blends are going to work for me, to colour them in. Just gently pop the balloons on there. Get rid of that. Okay, so I'll colour those in a minute. I want to do a bit more stamping on here. So this bit and this bit will stick to the card base. So it's these bits here that that fold in, and I need some white card. So if those are, so this should measure 2 3/4. So I want a couple of squares that are 2.5 inches by 2.5. Okay, so the first bit I'm going to do is, we have like some lines for the corner, so I'm going to use this one. And just Don't know where that's come from. Off my finger possibly. Never mind. We'll turn it over and we'll do it again. So it's better. I'm just going to get a wipe and wipe that edge. And then put that one. Dear. Obviously didn't press it hard enough, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to line that up now. Not really. Right, I'm going to start that bit again. See, it never goes right when you're on camera. I made one of these yesterday, and it was really straightforward, but I didn't obviously have a camera above the cardstock. It's better. And I need to just cut another piece, so bear with me. Just need to find a piece of white rather than cutting a whole sheet. Just dig into my scrap store. Do you keep all of your scraps of cardstock? I've got tons of them, but I'm not very good at throwing things like that away. I'd throw that away, but the other bits I'd keep. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to do some more balloons. And again, because I'm going to colour them in on here as well, I want to do them in Memento ink. And I'm just going to get a piece of grid paper. So that goes slightly off the edge, and that's fine. And then I want a smaller happy birthday. So again, I don't know whether this will fit. It should just about fit. Okay, straight enough. Right, so I'm going to keep that. This one's going to be for writing on, so that will go in one of the corners. This one will go in this corner, and it should have been done. See, this is the problem when you do things and you haven't kept your sample. See, that one will go whatever way round. Right, let me redo this. We want it on the slant. Where is this going to fit? I have to go in a slightly different place. Yeah. Okay, so that one will go there, that will go there. And we can stick the bottom one on. It doesn't matter which way round those lines go. ink. Right, so now I'm going to use my blends. I've got Berry Burst, Fresh Freesia and Bubble Bath in light and dark. And I'm going to start with the Berry Burst in dark. And just pop it in there. Then I'm going to use the light Berry Burst, and I'm going to go over the dark just so that it drags some of that colour and it blends nicely. Then we're going to use the dark Fresh Freesia. I haven't tested these, so I'm hoping they're all still okay. Sometimes I come to use them and I find I've used them too much and they've sort of like run out or started drying up. But these ones seem to be all right at the moment. And again, just drag the darker colour into the light. And this is Bubble Bath. Okay, I'm going to leave that for a moment, and then in a little bit I'm going to add some Wink of Stella to give it a bit of sparkle. Okay, so this one is going to be coloured in the same. So I'm just going to go back to, you don't want to do, if you're using the blends, you don't want to do big amounts of colour at a time. You want to really be able to do small areas and blend it, because the alcohol markers dry quick. And then it won't be able to be, it won't blend as well. Okay, and if you've not used these alcohol markers before the blends, you do need to have something, because as you can see it does bleed through. It hasn't actually come out onto here, but you don't want to risk it coming out onto your onto your desk or whatever you're leaning on. Go back to the dark one. Now I'm no expert at colouring. It's you don't need to be a great artist to be able to use these. But you do need Memento ink to stop it from, if you just use normal black ink, it would bleed into each other and it would get everything a bit black and mucky. So okay, that's the colouring on that. Now I'm just gonna, this is a new Winker Stella, so I'm just gonna give it a bit of a squeeze. Make sure I've got some coming down the tip. I don't know how well you can see that, but it gives a nice shine. And then we'll just add a bit on these pens. I mean, I've had, this is only like about the third, fourth one that I've had in 11 years, and I don't use it all the time, but they don't dry up and they do last. Okay, so this bit can get put together. Just as you would a normal card. Okay, so that's the front. You could add a bit more bling, might do that in a moment. Before I put this bit in though, this one here can go on there, and then I'm going to attempt to use this, and it says wishing you an amazing day. So it should just fit. The other one I made was bigger, so it should just about fit. But where's my big? Don't know where the other block's gone. I don't really want this. I've got this massive one, which I don't want. I want the next one down. Oh, I know where it is. It's got this on. So I'm going to just take that one off. Pop it over there. I'm going to put that down. Okay. And I'm just going to mask off this bit. Bring the berry burst back in, and hopefully this will work and it won't mess up the rest of the card. No guarantees. So I'm going to pop that there. Give it a bit of a clean. Then I need some more masking. I'm going to stick that on there because I don't want that bit at the moment. And that bit. Okay, obviously if you do this, you need to obviously remember to take the masked bits off. So that one then I am going to have to stand up. Okay, and then so from there all I need now is day, so give that a wipe. Cover that over. This is old washi tape, which is brilliant for doing this sort of stuff. Take that one off. Stand up again so that I can see what I'm doing, hopefully. Put that on there. Okay. So now we've got this finished. I'm going to fold it up and bring in our card base. And this will fit exactly into a standard card base. So if we put some glue on this square first of all and pop that as close to in the middle as we can. You can measure it if you want to. It needs to butt up to the score line, and then we can pop glue on this side and fold it flat. And then when you open it, it explodes. Okay, I've just noticed you can actually see that through there, so I will put something there. But that is a exploding birthday card. I will obviously put photos and dimensions, and I will convert it into centimetres as well, so it'll all be on my blog in the next day or so. And yeah, really easy but quite effective, so have a go at making it, and feel free to leave any comments. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas. I don't think I'm going to get on next week, being a mad Christmas week, so I will try and get back in between Christmas and New Year. We don't have huge amounts planned. We're just going to try and have a nice relaxing time and get out and hopefully get out and do some walking and get some fresh air. But that's going to depend on the weather, I think, because we've had huge amounts of rain where we are, so it's all a bit yucky and horrible at the moment. But all right, have a good Christmas, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.